Before we had lions, before we had bears, before anything alive today had even the faintest chance of claiming the title of apex predator, there was one animal that made every other creature on this planet a potential meal. It didn't sneak, it didn't need to, it walked, and the ground remembered it. This is the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and if you think you already know this animal, you don't. Not really. The T-Rex lived approximately 68 to 66 million years ago during the final chapter of the Cretaceous period in what is now Western North America. It wasn't the oldest tyrannosaur nor the first large predator to walk this continent, but it was, without question, the last one standing, and by an enormous margin. A fully grown Tyrannosaurus measured up to 12 to 13 meters in length. That's roughly the size of a city bus. It stood nearly 4 meters tall at the hips and weighed somewhere between 8 and 14 metric tons, depending on the individual. To put that in perspective, the African elephant, the largest land animal alive today, weighs around 6 tons. The T-Rex made elephants look manageable, but size alone doesn't make a predator. What made the Rex different was architecture. Every single part of this animal was built around one purpose: to destroy. The skull of the Tyrannosaurus Rex was approximately 1.5 meters long, nearly the height of an average adult human. But unlike most large predators whose skulls are designed for speed or precision, the Rex's skull was built for raw, catastrophic force. Its teeth were not blades. They were more like railroad spikes, thick, oval in cross-section, serrated, and deeply rooted. Some reached 30 centimeters in length, including the root. They weren't designed to slice. They were designed to grip and crush simultaneously, driving through bone as easily as muscle. Studies have measured the bite force of the T-Rex at somewhere between 35,000 and 57,000 newtons. For context, a lion bites at around 4,500 newtons. A saltwater crocodile, considered one of the most powerful biters alive, reaches about 16,000. The Rex bit with 3 to 4 times the force of the most powerful animal alive today. And those famous arms, yes, they were short, proportionally small. But before you laugh, and people do laugh, those arms were approximately 1 meter long and capable of curling an estimated 200 kilograms each. They weren't useless. They just weren't the point. One of the most persistent myths about the T-Rex is that it was a slow, lumbering scavenger, a massive animal that could barely find its own food. That myth has been largely dismantled. The T-Rex had one of the largest olfactory bulbs of any dinosaur ever studied relative to brain size. In simpler terms, it could smell better than almost anything that has ever lived. Some researchers have compared its olfactory capacity to that of modern vultures and turkey buzzards, animals that can detect a carcass from kilometers away. The Rex could find you, from very far away, before you knew it was looking. Its eyes were forward-facing, giving it binocular vision with a field of approximately 55 degrees. Better depth perception than any other dinosaur of its era, and comparable to modern hawks. It didn't just see movement, it tracked it, and its hearing. The inner ear structure suggests it was tuned to low frequencies, the kind of deep, resonant sounds that travel through dense vegetation and open plains alike, the kind of sounds prey makes when it's trying to be quiet. The debate between whether the T-Rex was primarily a hunter or a scavenger has consumed paleontology for decades. The current consensus leans heavily toward active predator, with scavenging as an opportunistic supplement, exactly as we see in lions today. Evidence for active hunting includes healed bite marks found on the bones of prey animals, meaning the prey survived at least one attack, which only happens if the predator was pursuing living targets. Hadrosaurs and ceratopsians bearing T-Rex tooth marks that showed bone regrowth, animals that got away once. Its top speed is estimated between 17 and 25 kilometers per hour. Not fast by predator standards. A lion, for example, reaches 80, but the animals it hunted weren't fast either. Triceratops, Edmontosaurus, Ankylosaurus. None of these were built for speed. They were built for defense, and the T-Rex had an answer for every defense they brought. Against armored prey, it used force. Against fleeing prey, it used endurance and ambush. Against everything else, it used the fact that it was a 10-ton animal with the most powerful bite in land vertebrate history. The T-Rex grew fast and died young by geological standards. Juveniles were lean, long-legged, and built more like pursuit predators. Fast, agile, hunting smaller prey. As they aged, they bulked up dramatically, trading speed for mass and power. By their late teens, they had transformed into something else entirely. Most individuals are believed to have lived between 20 and 30 years. The largest known specimen, Sue, housed at the Field Museum in Chicago, lived approximately 28 years and measured over 12 meters. She showed evidence of infections, healed injuries, and the kind of wear that comes from decades of violent living. Recent research also suggests that the T-Rex may have had feathers, at least during its juvenile stage. Not the feathers you imagine on a bird, something closer to a sparse, coarse covering. The image of the Rex as a scaled reptile is likely incomplete. The reality was probably stranger and in some ways more unsettling. The Tyrannosaurus Rex existed for approximately 2 million years before an asteroid impact ended the Cretaceous and took it with everything else. 2 million years. For context, our entire genus, Homo, has existed for about the same amount of time, and we have spent most of it being afraid of things considerably smaller than this. The T-Rex did not go extinct because it failed. It went extinct because a rock 6 miles wide, traveling at 20 kilometers per second, hit the planet with the force of 1 billion nuclear bombs. Even then, it probably took months to fully disappear. There is something worth sitting with in that fact. The most complete predator that land life ever produced is gone forever. Not because something beat it, but because the rules changed. Every fossil we find of this animal is a reminder that the world has been reset before completely, and that whatever sits at the top today, including us, is only temporary.